Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and look what Luis Marriott found. He shared Naveen Gupta speaking from the MENA, the Middle East, Northern Africa Ripple Swell webinar last week, and it is very interesting to hear what's happening.
So that's the end of our show for today, but we have some special news for you that I would like to share with you all. I'm pleased to announce that HDFC Bank, largest private sector bank in India, has joined Rippleent. They will be a key receiving partner into India, and our team is incredibly excited to work with them.
So this is HDFC. They are the largest private sector bank in India. They've been in that position since 2017. I think that when India starts to really pay attention to the on-demand liquidity corridors, when they start to really light up and the savings is very apparent, not only for the banks, but also for the migrant workers that are sending money back to their home countries, when they see how much savings occurs, I think the smart decision is going to come into play. And I think the crypto assets will be used on a probably per case basis, depending on which ones they are. And I think XRP will eventually be used in all those rails that have been laid down in India. Now, this is Moneynet Int. They run on Ripple. You can see that. They do billions of transactions every year. They're a payment solution for online businesses. They're partnered with Visa and MasterCard, and they do these internal payments between e-wallets free of charge, occurring almost immediately, it says, from anywhere in multiple currencies. I think that's the product that Ripple is helping them do. Well, Moneynet, back in March, they teamed up with a foreign exchange specialist and cross-border payments company called AFEX, okay? And today, AFEX was acquired by FleetCor. Does FleetCor ring a bell? It should, because FleetCor owns the company Cambridge Global, and Cambridge Global is using XRP to facilitate their faster global payments with on-demand liquidity. Now, this is proof to show you that these Ripple rails are just crisscrossing everywhere, connecting so many of their members together. It's starting to look like the subway and train map in Tokyo. I don't know about you, but this is how I feel it is starting to look. So the key point is to see that these rails in place, and I'm going to show you at the end of this video what Ripple is doing to help build that liquidity out, because I'm not kidding you, and I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it. It's a tough hurdle to get over. It's really been a challenge for Ripple, and they're working on it. Okay, moving along here. When we look at the announcement from Reuters, the EU is going to introduce some new rules to introduce crypto assets and blockchain for cross-border payments. It sounds great, but I couldn't believe that they said it's going to happen within 4 years. That seems like forever. So I don't know if it's going to take that long, and they are talking about using the crypto asset that is like a stable coin. But remember, XRP solves liquidity for stable coins that are backed by fiat currency. So even if they are not talking about getting those rules for XRP, even if they move forward with their own stable coin, XRP still solves that solution when they move it cross borders. All right, you think you remember this guy. This is the former SWIFT CEO, Mr. Liebrandt, and he stepped down this last summer. Since he stepped down, the narrative coming out of Ripple is a little bit different. Yeah, when the new CEO, Javier Perez Tasso, took that position after moving up through the ranks with a career that has been 25 years with SWIFT, the narrative really has changed, and I think they are more friendly about working with third-party fintechs now. I'm going to play for you a very short clip here. This is Yawar Shah. He's the managing director of Citi USA and also the chairman of the board of directors of SWIFT. And this is occurring at Sibos last year, and he said something quite profound starting at that 3405 mark. Oh no, at the 3523 mark. I think I was there. 3523. Okay, have a listen to this right here. It's very soft. I have it up 100% on both sides, on my PC and on the YouTube channel, and it's just quiet sound, so I'll be quiet.
The industry continues to spend mostly on driving cost efficiencies with some focus on innovation. But here's the fun part. On C, in this industry, fintechs have proven to be partners rather than competitors.
So fintech competitors have turned out to be partners. That was the key point. So there is a different narrative. And I think it's important because SWIFT had a big announcement. They said on Thursday that they have this new digital platform coming, as well as a new strategy for instant payments. And they cite that in this particular article that it is due to the competition from Ripple. It's going to use APIs and cloud technology. The process is going to take them 2 years to do. So I would think if they are using Ripple, it would probably be rolling out a little bit quicker. So maybe they are building something on their own. But point is that we'll keep a close watch on this. And I still think that there is a very good chance that with their new approach, that Ripple is going to assist them in some limited fashion. All right, this is a big article today that came out of Coinbase, and it is really, we have been hearing for months and months and months that DeFi was coming, right? It was going to be the new thing. Well, I can tell you, DeFi is here. This is the traditional financial products like lending, borrowing, insurance, even moving into healthcare. Like, for example, medical device leasing. If you are familiar with something like this, to get a CT scan, even those big MRI machines, they are all products that are leased. And they can be put now on the blockchain with a smart contract to do the automatic payments. So this is really a sector of blockchain that is going to explode. And the platform that has really been the largest so far to be built on is Ethereum, but Ethereum has big trouble, and that is because the fees are so high. The average fee this week was $11.61. That is not the highest. The highest on record was $14.58, but it is just too expensive for so many platforms that have built on Ethereum. They're looking for solutions. And I want to tell you that I know since Flare Networks has come into the scene with the utility fork, and they're going to integrate with XRP, doing that trustless integration on Flare, taking advantage of being able to work in a very cost-effective way. DeFi is really coming to life all over. So I think when we also look at who's pretty successful now in this DeFi space, this is Tezos. And I think you're going to be surprised who is working on Tezos. Right here, I want you to look on the lower right-hand side. That is somebody who is very key at Ripple. That's Kiefer Taylor. He is the person who conceived, architected, and led the team as the lead engineer at the Ripple's investment arm Spring to build out their SDK, the software developers kit. And now he's working very much on Tezos, along with some other contract work. And Tezos is a decentralized proof of stake DeFi network. It's been around about 2.5 years, about 2.5 years. It's stable, it's performant, it has a track record with verifiable smart contracts. And I think that when you listen to this portion I'm going to play with you, it's very, very short. It's only like 30 seconds. But Kiefer brought his interoperability thinking, I do believe, to this project as well, because they're talking about how they just finished a new price oracle. And you got to listen to this. This is pretty good. So I'm going to start it at the 47 mark. And here we, I am so bad at this. Here we go.
Ken. I think one of the cool things here is like DeFi is sort of infinitely remixable, right? So like people make components and then you can plug them together in like new and interesting ways. And so this is just one component that like helps people build like some cool lending platform. And it doesn't really matter if that comes from Compound or it comes from someone else, or all of these things can kind of just like plug in together and build on top of each other. And so this is one of the fundamental blocks you need to make that happen.
Yeah, sounds good. And then just one more little portion to this. This is so interesting. This is Kenneth. He is the president of the Tezos chapter in Boston. And this is so interesting. I just want to see if I can find my note for this particular part so I make sure I started at the right section. They are really talking about, well, he's asking the team if they can build something that he thinks really is needed to be built. He's talking about liquidity. So when you talk about liquidity, that talks about the ease or the friction, if you have bad liquidity, of being able to easily come in and out of an asset or a token. Easily sell, easily buy, easily use. The issuers want liquidity, the exchanges want liquidity, the buyer wants liquidity, the seller wants liquidity, everybody wants liquidity. Uniswap is doing it through pools, for example, to help in their focused liquidity. So this Kenneth Garofalo, I just loved what he asked the team if they could build for him, because you're going to be really surprised that someone who had made an announcement yesterday is actually building that. So have a listen to his question here.
For governance tokens on Tezos, we're right around the corner from that stuff. But this brings up a more serious question, something that I've been mulling over, and I want to plant the seed in your guys' head because maybe you can build something for this idea. But, Tezos is meant, there was a security token market starting to develop on Tezos, right, with the FA2 standard, FA1.2 standard. There's still going to be, in my opinion, an issue with those assets becoming illiquid. And what we've seen with these liquidity pools with Uniswap, what it's doing is essentially providing liquidity to illiquid assets in a decentralized fashion where anyone can come in, deposit both sides of the pair, and then that liquidity pool becomes an automated market maker. Is there a way we can have whitelisted, I guess it wouldn't be a DEX, it'd be a centralized exchange, so whitelisted, or maybe it would be in the same fashion as a DEX, but the only way your wallet could connect is if you were whitelisted with your address, right? And then this exchange would only trade security tokens versus stablecoins, security tokens versus other cryptocurrency assets. And people would be able to, deposit both sides of the pair to a liquidity pool that would become an automated market maker for the security token, solving the issue of low liquidity for these illiquid assets. Is that something that you guys are thinking about? Is that something that's feasible? Or am I just barking up the wrong tree here?
I think
so. I don't know if you got it, but it's that whole thing of that is really now called liquid mining, and this is what BitTrue announced yesterday. They are going to do liquid mining before the end of October. It's a community-based approach to market making, and in this case, you're going to be able to receive or earn rewards if you are locking up that list of tokens that they cite for 7 days. And they're going to handle the yield farming for you as a service. This space is just getting so interesting. Now, if you want to know what that list is, I can show you here, and I do want you to thoroughly investigate because there is risk when you do this. So you really want to know what you're getting into if you do participate. But they're going to use this at launch with Ethereum and the FNX coin, XRP and BFT coin, Ethereum and BFT, Ethereum, the USD Tether coin, the TUSD, and the USDC. So that is what they're going to start with, and it'll happen before the end of October, I think, if they stay on track. Yeah, I'm just, it's just fascinating to see this space build out. Now, talking about liquidity, we're going to stick with that because 3 days ago, Ripple posted a new job. This is a senior software engineer to build enterprise trading platform to source liquidity and to aggregate it. That would be a pool. And doing it in real time to make it available to crypto markets. It's going to be a highly strategic product for on-demand liquidity, ODL, and that uses the digital asset XRP to improve payments for the RippleNet members. It's a tough hurdle to jump over, but they are giving it a very serious effort. All right, everybody, let's jump to a little fluff. So we have Pokemon hand stamps. What in the world is this? Well, it is that innovation that occurs when everybody's world gets turned upside down. This is for children, and you put a hand stamp on the palm of the hand, and then the kids in Japan are told to wash your hands long enough to make that stamp disappear. So it's a way to get children to wash their hands for a very long time. I think it's pretty clever, actually. And then we have a new torch tower that's being built in Tokyo. It is amazingly high. It's going to be 390 meters. That's 1,280 feet. It'll be the tallest building in Japan. And it looks like it's going to be very, very good looking. This is going to be the first 6 floors, which will have shops and restaurants and a concert hall. And this unique 1.2 mile outdoor walking ramp that's elevated but outdoors. It's a terrace. It looks really great. And then from the floors 57 to 61 will be a luxury hotel. There is a rooftop open observatory at the very, very top. I don't know about the office space, with everybody moving to working from home, they've got to be a little nervous about renting out this space. I mean, I know that it's not going to be completed for 6 years, but I don't think we're going to go back to all working at the office again, because I think a lot of companies have seen that it is much more efficient and it's saving a lot of money for a lot of companies not to have these office space leases, and you think about all the furniture that's leased and the phone systems, and I mean it's just an unbelievable awakening, I think, for companies that are finding that they don't need that office anymore. So I don't know how that's going to go, but we have to wait and see. I think that office commercial space around the world is probably going to come down a lot in price. All right, everybody. Yes, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.